Hey, welcome back to Evil's Comics. I'm Evil Mike, and I have another review for you from Image Comics. This is Mirka and Andolfo's Sweet Paprika, issue number 5. It's just the A cover. I'm not buying too many comics, but I'm definitely buying this comic. It's one that I've kind of had to pick up. If y'all know my channel, I love the comic art and the story. So let's get into it. We got written and art by Mirka and Andolfo, colorist is Simon Tessuto, and then we got letters is Fabio and Amelia. Um, in a nutshell, this is kind of like you know, um, a romance comedy. It's hard to sum up because the story kind of sways left and right, but it's about a girl that's really trying to explore herself, and she's been taught to be one way in life, and now finding out some things are fraudulent. Now she's able to become the person that maybe she was always meant to be, kind of thing, and that's the story in a nutshell. We are at the point right now where Paprika and Dill Pickle have developed this friends with benefits relationship, because she wants to date this guy, but she doesn't want to be inexperienced in the sexual area. Before we go on with this review, since I'm going to show off a lot of the comic, there is nudity in this comic, so and if that bothers you at all, please turn this off, but without further ado, let's get into this issue. So it actually starts off with the backstory with Sweet Paprika and how she started off, and working at Inferium Press, and it kind of shows her that she was like a person that was actually walked over. In the comic already, I mean, she is the CCO of Inferium Press currently. And she's like top dog at the company, besides one other person, kind of. So to see her in this light is kind of a different, but basically they show her that she was kind of like this intern. She was like looking for, like the next hot thing, and this is that moment that she found the book on which the whole story is created, because she's basically gonna find this book, and basically all her coworkers were laughing at her and kind of calling her names, and Paprika was kind of like searching for this like fan fiction romance novel that was going to make it big. It was going to be like the next thing, the next 50 Shades of Grey or something like that. And in this moment, it's the moment when she found that fan fiction that now her company is kind of famous and they're about to make the movie, but it is Spice It Up. And basically it's like her finally turning the tides, like when she finally became this like evil, conniving, strong, powerful, businesswoman that we see later on, earlier on in the book. And even right here, her coworkers don't even know how to act at her when, because this went from them bullying her and them making fun of her and stuff like that, to instantly like her finding that book and she was like, no, y'all shut the hell up, and I'm never gonna talk about, and she, from that moment on, she rise to who she is, currently. They flip back forward and they go like presently in the book, and they just, they show like her, her teammates now, and how they are, they fear her and stuff. They're like, oh god, I gotta get this done, I have to, oh god, she's coming, we have like minutes, I better get this review, oh no, hey, did you get that review, these tea leaves have to be perfect, kind of thing. And Dill kind of shows up, and then right after Dill shows up, Paprika shows up, and it is a very different Paprika. She's very nice with everybody. She's kind of she's in her head, she's worried about her looks, making sure that she is looking like this friendly person that she is trying to come off as, because really when it gets down to it, she's really, really happy. Her and Dill, like in the last issue, it was like her first orgasm, I think it's 7 years or something like that, and like, her first time she was with somebody, she really didn't, have fun sexually with the guy. So this is really the first time she's exploring her. So she's really coming to work like super happy and everything, and everybody's kind of weirded out about her. She kind of like nonchalant moves forward, and eventually she has to have a phone call a message, like a Zoom message with, and I think his name is Zoltar, Zatar. But Zatar, basically they have this phone conversation, and halfway through it, she starts imagining and, kind of like, like having sexual fantasies about him and her together, because in the end of things right now, currently, she wants to be with this guy. That's why has this friends of benefits relationship going on with Dill. So she, like, every chance he gets, and when she sees him, she's just in love with Zatar and the way he looks and everything. She doesn't know a lot about him, but, like, I mean, besides what he has shown the world kind of thing, but she hasn't had a lot of one-on-one and that kind of thing. But what she's seen so far, she's heavily, like fantasizing about, to the degree that it gets her in trouble. And even in this conversation, she gets to the point where she kind of stops talking to him in general, and she, kind of like forgets her surroundings, and she gets more into the fantasy versus what's going on. And eventually and Dill has a little dog always with him, but the little dog ends up biting her on her tail, and it's like it causes this weird scene where like Zatar is like, why is this guy here with the dog? And like it's supposed to be this business meeting. What they're showing right here, where it gets a lot more sexual, is she's kind of like, he asked who this delivery guy is and why he's there at this business call kind of thing. And Dill steps in and he's like, hey, I'm Dill. I'm this building's like favorite delivery guy. And he's like, your building has a favorite delivery guy? That's kind of weird. And she's all thinking like, I don't want to explain that, I'm using, me and Dill have this like, friends with benefit, relationship going on to practice so I can be better in bed with you kind of thing. And that's what's kind of going on here in the back of her mind. Eventually the book moves over and it goes back and forth with Dill's father, Mr. Pickle, and now in the other books he was always annoyed that Dill was always there and popping up and ruining his time with ladies, and now it's like quite the opposite. Now that Dill seems to be spending a lot of time with Paprika, he's not spending as much time popping in on his dad, to the point where like even his dad's date ends up leaving him like, oh, this is weird, you're just like, looking at your son's Instagram and stuff like that. It goes back into like later on that night when Paprika and Dill, have another one of their sessions, and it's getting to the point in their relationship where Paprika is doing a lot of the receiving, and Dill's been doing a lot of the work, and Dill's like, okay, now we need to work on the other end of stuff, putting in some work, because at this point there hasn't been any sex. It's just been like foreplay, and it's been of the female variety, and there hasn't been any complaint up until this point. But there has been a couple times where he's like, hey, go down there, or hey, you want to start, and she's kind of broken it off. And finally he starts bringing this up, and finally we see like right here, and it's like this long, but she finally breaks down and she explains like her previous relationship and how, it was a relationship she thought she wanted and this and that, but she always had her dad in the back of her mind, kind of like where she couldn't let go. Sex was kind of like this bad thing and this prude type thing. So she explains that sex with that guy, even though she might have loved him when they were together, it just wasn't, fun or pleasurable, and so she doesn't have a lot of experience even on that end in real life kind of thing. And Dio was like, oh, well, and like at first he doesn't really say anything, and Paprika gets all weirded out, and he's like, oh, well, I'm glad you opened up to me kind of thing, and we'll just, from now that I know, and like I wish I would have known in the beginning kind of thing, but now we can, work and do things differently, and I can teach you kind of thing, and we can see what you like and don't like. There's a lot more of like foreplay that goes into it, because at one point, she's like, can you pretend to be Zatar? And he's like, yeah, fine, because he is also aware what she's using him for. It's not this thing where she's keeping him in the dark and like pretending. No. He's aware, and he knows. Like, she even calls him like a walking sex toy, like sometimes kind of thing. And he doesn't care. He just, on Dill's end, he's kind of really in love with Paprika, and he's just getting, he kind of sees it the other way, that any kind of time with Paprika, even if it's not going to end and them being together, is worth it, kind of thing. You know, that's how high a value, you know. But at the very end of the book, they're still continuing on with their thing, and they're getting more into the foreplay. That's why, you know, you see Zatar here instead of Dill, because she's pretending that it's Zatar. But at the very end, and all of a sudden, Paprika's mom just happens to stop by, and she's like gained entrance by the doorman, and he just kind of happens, you know, she just kind of happens to show up while Dill and Paprika are kind of going, you know, and it's actually the first time they have sex is when her mom walks in. The book jumps back over to this Zatar and Paprika's ex, which I'm drawing a blank at his name, but he's shown here in the hot tub. And it's this whole conversation between Zatar and the ex is trying to paint Paprika as this boring, you know, and he even states that that's what he likes, kind of thing. And Zatar is like, I don't think that, I don't get that from her. And like, he was like, I can't wait to spend time with her. And the way they paint Zatar is actually gentlemanish, and they do it in a good fashion and stuff. And then you have the ex, and he's like, you know, with these girls, and the girls are making fun of Zatar because they're like, come on, man, jump in the hot tub. Why are you worrying about Paprika? You know, there's two girls right here. And he's like, nope, you know, I'm set on her, kind of thing, and I'm going to get what I want. And eventually Zatar leaves, and it's just we are left with the ex, and he kind of gets pissed at the two girls that are with him, and it's done in this friendly fashion where he's smiling, but you know, like verbally he is stating like, man, y'all fucked it up. He was like, I was trying to do something else, you know, and y'all just killed it. He was like, yeah, y'all can go ahead and go or stay, I don't care, you know. And they just show he's like, and they show he's talking to himself, and he goes off over here, and he has this like little temper tantrum or whatever, but he's basically saying that now that he wants Paprika, and I think it's solely based on Zatar, because Zatar wants Paprika. So now he's going to do everything what he can to get Paprika. And at the very end, it just, you know, it just says that he's flying instantly to New York to go see Paprika and kind of interfere in the three-way that's already going on. But that is Mirka and Andolfo, Sweet Paprika, issue number 5. I can't state it enough. I love this book. It's one of my top reads of 2021. I love the art, the story. It's funny. It's sad. It's sexy. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of check marks that I didn't even know I need checked off, but it does. But hey, guys, that's my review. You know, please, for one, check out Mirka and Andolfo. Her page is amazing. Mirka and Andolfo 89 is her Instagram page. She's always dropping like crazy sketches and different art and stuff. Hey, this is Kelly. She's kind of getting on in the, but y'all have a great day, and I will see y'all later. Bye.